Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we are going to take a fully spoilerly look at Kaiju number 8, chapter 65! Oh! Connections! There were just so many connections in this chapter. There's this page, and on that page is an action scene. One panel, just one, that calls back to two entire action sequences from chapters 18 to chapters 820. The clothes the characters are wearing connect back to chapter 24 and chapter 1. The sky in the background itself connects back. Everything in this manga is just woven together so amazingly. And that's on top of a character interaction that I have been longing for since pretty much chapter 18. This is how Matsumoto took a basic shonen battle manga concept and brought it to life. As C.S. Lewis said, don't worry about being original. Tell a good story and the originality will come as a second thing. But there are going to be so many spoilers in this video, and I can't wait to get to them. So I will now give you a chance to click away by telling you to go get a copy and leave a review on my book, Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote. Available at the links below the video. Now, Vice Captain Hoshini is back, baby! Remember him? The heartbroken second in command of the 3rd Division, the suspicious genius who suspected a connection between Kafka and Kaiju number 8 from their first interactions in the application arc? The soft-hearted man who let himself be taken in by Kafka's charm? Who, despite being nearly ready to drop from the beating Kaiju number 10 gave him, and the overheat he had inflicted on himself, stood guard over Kafka in his last hours before Kafka was taken away to the 1st Division to near certain death and dissection. Remember that dude? Remember how we all stressed over what would happen to the relationship? How betrayed would Vice Captain Hoshini feel? He had to understand why Kafka had kept the secret, but how would Hoshini react to having been made a fool of, knowing that he himself was the only one to suspect Kafka? Well, Vice Captain Hoshini shows up on the base to confront Kafka in the dark of the night when Kafka is alone. I mean, as alone as the Defense Force is going to allow a kaiju-possessed human to be. I am sure they have eyes on him at all times. But what is the good Vice Captain doing here? For what purpose has he snuck onto the 1st Division's territory? The answer is so perfectly satisfying, so perfectly shonen, and yet it's more than shonen. I, a cynical old geezer, read it without the slightest cringe in my system. It isn't saccharine. It isn't cheesy. It is just real. Two men dealing with their respective failings and foibles like adults. The Vice Captain offers the rough brand of justice that is often shared between soldiers and the mercy of a true man. Kafka accepts his forgiveness with a very realistic awkwardness. And then Matsumoto peels away another layer of their relationship to both show them and the depth of their brotherly love. Not just for each other, but for the rest of their division mates. You see, Vice Captain Hoshini knows Kafka. He knows what drives Kafka and what torments Kafka. After all, that is Hoshini's job. He's the second in command. He trains the new recruits. He studies them. He knows them so that Mina, the captain, doesn't have to spend time on that and can focus on killing kaiju. And this is just so well represented by this interaction. And here we have one of my favorite tie-in moments that just perfectly illustrates how Matsumoto connects chapters across time. This whole scene is tied back to the story arc where Kafka walks in on Vice Captain Hoshini doing image training of his fight with Kaiju number 8, and Kafka gets the Vice Captain's attention. In that scene, Vice Captain Hoshini grimly tells Kafka that Kaiju number 8 is something special, something that is too fast for Mina to cannon out of existence and too tough for anyone with less power to take out, that he has to be the one to kill Kaiju number 8. Then Kafka pledges his support, and the scene ends with Vice Captain Hoshini getting Kafka in a headlock, Kafka tapping out, and then Vice Captain Hoshini reassuring Kafka that he does have faith in at least 1% of him. Now, look at this scene. in this chapter. Vice Captain Hoshina surprises Kafka while Kafka is driving himself training late at night. Hoshina then opens with his training swords, the first strike he ever used on Kaiju number 8, that straight slicing blow to the neck. Then Hoshina tells Kafka that they are even for Kafka hiding his identity from him. That was the point of the mock attack. Kafka tries to apologize, and the Vice Captain gets him in a headlock, insisting that the issue is done with. Drop it. Then Hoshina tells Kafka that he knows the risk of transforming involves for Kafka's body, and that Kafka doesn't have to take that risk anymore. He, Vice Captain Hoshina, will take out number 9 on his own. Not talking about the risk that Kaiju number 10 poses to Hoshina at this point, but Kafka is once again stunned by how much the Vice Captain cares for his subordinates, and of course rejects the offer of protection. This is Kafka. Even if it's humiliating him and tearing down him in spirit and body, he's going to continue fighting with everything he has, even if it's not strictly following his dreams. And instead of just letting Kafka wander off this time, Vice Captain Hoshina asks Kafka to follow him. And we get the thing we've been wanting since chapter 18. They will be training together. The master of small to mid-sized kaiju combat will be going against the most powerful mid-sized kaiju to date. This is so magnificent. Now, I'm going to do a whole other video on how well this chapter ties into every story arc back to chapter 1. But this relationship is my favorite part of the series. More Kafka and Hoshina combat scenes, please, Matsumoto. So, what do you think? Did I miss anything in this chapter because I was fangirling so hard over getting the training arc I really wanted? Leave a comment below telling me what I missed. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out.
Humans are weird. We took a vote, and humans are weird. I have the data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans are weird, we took a vote, and humans are weird, I have the data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.